Yeah. Oh, that makes sense. Interesting, but no, not possible. Because art has a different paradigm. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, yeah, exactly. And do things adjacent and it's kind of like Bikram trying to patent his yoga sequence.
Yeah.
Hey, Elizabeth, welcome. Hey there. Hi, Carol. Welcome. All right. Hey, Susanna.
Good morning.
I'm good. How are you doing?
I bow down to you. I have a new body. I bow down to you. I'm trying to keep it. It was wonderful. The weekend was wonderful. And if you haven't, you need to visit the organic apple farm that's just a few miles away.
Yeah, I didn't end up going, but I would love to.
We spent the afternoon there. It was wonderful.
Oh, awesome.
And they built stone walls there, and they have all kinds of demonstrations of different stone walls. And there
Oh,
was a musician playing all the music from when I was young, and all those great old hits. It was the whole atmosphere was incredible, and they had like hundreds of different kinds of apples that you could buy that you've never heard of before. It was amazing.
that sounds like worth a trip back to Brattleboro.
But thank you for our new bodies. We will try and hold on to them.
Yes, indeed. Thank you, Ann.
Excellent. You're welcome, Rusty. Great to see you both. Wonderful. Right. I'm going to go ahead and get my AirPods going. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Sure this is okay.
Better to be back, but it was kind of a little simple. Like a funny thing. She's like, "Can you really?" Like I was.
So it's nice to see you. Yeah. How are you doing? Good. Is there anything that you need to, when you practice, you just have to avoid this or that, anything going on? Great. No, exactly. The natural process of whittling away things that aren't appropriate anymore. Great. Okay, good. Yeah, good, good, good. Sounds like you're on the same path that everyone is on. Be it positive or negative, it's kind of both, right? Okay, good. Well, welcome. Right. Lovely to have you. Hello there. Welcome. Hey, how are you doing? Oh, look at that. That's good. You're warming up. Was ist das? Oh, no, thank you. I'm good. I already brushed my teeth. But normally I would say yes, but thank you. You don't need to know that I brushed my teeth. That's weird. Morning, Carmen.
Short after she's brushed her teeth before going to bed.
No, exactly. Yeah, I'm about to go to my dentist and I'm fearful that she'll find something. So I'm being particularly. Hello. Yes. Hi, Naomi. Welcome. Hi, Laura. Hey, Laura, I'm so sorry that I didn't realize you weren't in the photo. Hello there. Laura, I'm so sorry I didn't realize you were in the picture, but Milton put you in, thank God. Oh, what the heck? It's very interesting because it triggered all these. Yeah, I'm so sorry. Oh, but you're not. Oh, I felt so bad. I was like, "Whoa, no, I did not. But it was cool how you put her in it. I would never tell.
She slept in.
It's true. I forgot the meditation in the morning. Well, no, I didn't. I set my alarm and I didn't hit play. And you are my rescuer. Yeah, Laura's the one that saved me from that. It wasn't that bad. It was just that I was losing my shit. It was actually kind of fun. I mean, I just didn't, I wasn't tuned into papers. Yeah. Yeah, plenty of time. Yeah. Oh, good. Yeah. Exactly. Well, I'm super Milton was able to do that because that was huge. Hey, Vicky.
Hey, Ann,
Long time no see.
I
Hey, I
know.
did you get my text, my belated text?
I did. I'm sorry I
Okay.
haven't responded. It's
No, no, no,
been,
no, no. I'm trying to remember, make sure I sent it. You know how
yeah,
you
you
write a
did.
text and you don't. Perfect. Okay, good, good, good. So now we can proceed. Yeah. How is your body feeling?
Good. Can't complain.
Okay, awesome. Great.
All recovered from jet lag and
Yeah, this direction is so much easier for me.
it
Going
is.
over is so challenging, but
Yeah.
this direction, no problem.
Yeah.
So,
Going west is usually always so much easier.
so much easier. I find that, oh, such a gift. I love spending the whole day like, "Oh, I'm stuck on a plane. I'm just going to watch 6 movies. That's
Yeah.
fine." Hi, Lisa.
Hi.
Actually, I have to say, I was scraping the barrel on the movie situation to try to find some other things that I wanted to see. There's some really bad movies out there. It's like terrifying.
I
Like,
know. The last two
oh,
times we've gone somewhere, it's like, really? These are awful.
yeah. My daughters are so smart. They always figure out how to download things, and I
Yeah.
never figure that out. How are you feeling today, Lisa? How's your
Pretty
body?
good. It's good.
Okay. Any feeling of waveriness or
Nope,
dizziness?
not this morning, so
All
yay.
right. We'll work not to trigger that. Yeah. All right. Good. Excellent. Hi, Anne. Good morning. Welcome. Hello. All right. I'm going to go ahead and spotlight my screen. Recording is already happening. This way I don't end up last minute forgetting everything. I'll mute you all, but please do unmute anytime for any reason whatsoever. Questions, complaints, enthusiastic celebrations. Let's see, spotlight. Okay, great. So we'll be getting started in just a moment. We'll be starting lying on our backs. Surprise, surprise. And I'll be right back. Hey there, Kathleen. Welcome. Hello. Nice to see you. Welcome to you, Carmen. You're okay here, right? You often like this spot. Yeah, you don't mind. Good. Yeah. Good morning.
No, I don't either. So I don't Oh, there's some popular reaction. Well, I was talking out loud about this. I said, what do you miss about your boyfriend? And she said, I'm still drinking. Oh, it's like when you have somebody, living with, that undermines somebody in your life that you're in touch with every day. They you kind of know what's happening. And it's an odd but very comforting thing. When you go, well, you don't just go up to them. And say, let me show you my latest Bruce. And go, oh, that's just exactly what I want to see. That's great. Maybe he's the exception. How do you, yes, nobody described, so he was an English, I had sisters, things like that. Oh, that's cool, yeah. That's being Vermont. That's. Oh, experience. Oh, that's pretty. Yeah. It doesn't take much to bruise it, first of all, and secondly, when I have my bike, I did a lot of speed on that, so. Hold on. Stop. And I'm trying to get out there off.
Oh, you saw it? Yeah, you might. Usually it's take very much.
Well, that's exactly it. We're just, actually, just.
Thank you.
So, oh, sorry, you know, just all over. Good. Yeah.
I'm sure.
You know, somebody created this room, they do this.
Probably.
You do.
Take care of
Yes. Oh, that was there. Good morning. The other trip was pretty bad. And so really that's great. And that was like more simple, which is. So you're kind of, then it was like. No, I just. It was like really. She said that there were. Carol. That's what the stage. So you're not doing it.
No, I'm here for it. It's kind of episodic. It's like we'll go pretty. Course of the beats. Yes. And it fits the nail bed. Each time this happens, a nail grows out like with this ridge. Yeah. Like a not a like a wedge. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm here to take back grow back. Yeah, so it's great.
Your chest. No, here's whether you bent. Would be good if I
Put it so people.
hear me. I apologize.
Okay, now we're going to be starting lying down on your back, feet flat, knees bent, blanketing under your head and neck. And then any amount, bring your arms out to the side. For some, you will not feel comfortable bringing your arms straight out to a T because your shoulder joints will say, and that's not great. And you also might have close neighbors, so you can bend your elbows, you can stagger with your neighbor a little bit. And we'll walk your feet out to the edges of your mat. And if you feel like that's too wide, it doesn't feel good in your hips, knees, or ankles, bring your feet back in. But if the wide position is workable, we'll start with our gentle windshield wipers. But before we windshield wipe, lift your toes and dig in with your heels. So your heels are the pivot points. And every time you rock your legs from side to side in your windshield wipers, see if you can press your lumbar spine down into the mat as you go through the center. And then allow whatever happens to your back to happen as you go over any amount to one side and then the other. For some, it actually helps a lot to maintain that kind of cat curl in your low back, even as you go to the side, so that your back muscles are still elongating, even though you don't have the floor to verify that fact. So as you go from side to side, you might turn your chin the opposite direction to your knees. And I invite you to slow it down and really focus on the flattening of your back as, say, 70% of the movement, and the tilting over to the side, just the 30%. So you're going side to side. Feel the heaviness and expansiveness of your chest and shoulders and arms, like you're a big eagle lying with your wings spread on the ground. That would be weird for an eagle, but maybe some kind of, sunbathing eagle vibes. Oh my God, I don't know where that stuff comes from. I have no idea. Couple more of these sideways rotations, rolling over the back of your skull. And when you're ready to slowly creep your way back to the center, come on back to the center and reach for your legs, thighs, knees, or shins and bring your knees up wide instead of knees right together in front of your chest. See if you can have your knees wide and rock side to side. Any amount, might be a very small rock. I like to put my hands behind the back of my thighs and knees, and therefore my elbows serve as little bumpers when I rock side to side, so I don't have to go too far and feel like I'm going to plop over. Notice your brow, your facial muscles, and see if you can get that breathing going. Ah, come on back to the center. Hold on to your right leg. Interlace your hands either in front of your right shin or behind your right thigh, and kick and slide your left foot long. And take a moment to scissor your left leg left and right on the ground, on the mat, and on the wood. If your toes and knee of your left leg can point straight up to the sky, that's great. Grazing the floor with your calf and heel, unless of course it's uncomfortable. You can hover your leg, of course, unless it feels more stressful. Maybe keep your heel grounded. As you scissor left and right two more times, we're looking to activate your inner thigh and inner groin as your leg scissors across your midline, and activate your outer hip as your leg goes wide. One more scissor, then land your left leg in the center, in line with your hip, so back where you would have put it if you were a skeleton lying on the table, and push your right leg into your interlaced hands and fingers until your leg can't go any further because your elbows have fully extended. And it's totally fine if you have instead to grab on with your forearms, the back of your thigh. If your hands don't feel good pulling on your leg, you can wrap your wrists behind your leg and push into your forearms. My arms are short, so my knee is closer to my chest, but that is a perfectly viable strategy. The work here is your leg is activating to push away from your head. Now, in this position, flatten out your low back. What do you need to do to press your low back flat? Maybe also squeeze your buttock muscles, and then inhale, release. Keep your leg pushing, but lengthen and gently lift your low back any amount. And on your exhale, press your low back flat. Your right leg might start to quiver and shake a little bit. One more rock of your pelvis forward, low back gently lifts. Doesn't have to go to a certain height, just a little bit. Exhale, press your low back flat. And then relax your right foot to the mat with your right knee bent. Then reach for your left leg. Hug your left leg in comfortably squishy close, either your shin or your thigh. Reach your right leg long, as if your leg could escape you. Detach and crawl across the room. Then slowly, that's a weird image too, slowly, croupier wise, bringing your right leg way out to the right. Cross your midline and slide your right leg over to the left side of your mat. These lateral movements, starting to wake up muscles in your inner thigh and outer thigh areas. Also, if you squeeze your buttocks, you might find you have a little bit more oomph to the movement. I find I can cross my right leg just a little further over my midline to the left if I squeeze my right glutes. You might say that's not working for me, and that's totally fine. Everybody's bodies are so different. Sliding your leg side to side, mobilizing your hip joint in this different way. When you think, ugh, enough already, I'm even enough, I'm tired of doing this, pause, and now push your left leg into your interlaced hand. So doing it slightly differently on this side. We did the croupier movement of your leg with your leg hugged in. And that's actually sometimes a little easier. So we try both. On this side, we're doing the other version. So now with your left leg reaching, your elbows are straightening. Now keep your elbows long, your leg reaching tightly, tautly away. That's really a weird verb or adverb. The rock your pelvis flat. So you're tipping and tucking your pelvis in the context of the effort to move your left leg into your arms so that your elbows are unfurled, completely unfurled. There's no more bend in your elbows at all. Your bottom leg can be straight or bent if you prefer it. Bent, that's okay. Breathing in and out, noticing your breath. Notice if you're clenching your teeth and grinding your molars. One more breath in and out. Can anybody feel the movement of your pelvis? Okay, good. All right. And then gently bring both knees into your chest and rock side to side. Easy does it. We'll move right away into our pelvic rebalancing. I know some of you are really like, you know what? Do we really have to do this every single day? This is just so boring. But to reset your pelvis before you practice yoga can be a really nice strategy for you to be working more in a more even and balanced way in your hips and legs. With both knees into your chest, check to see that your neck and shoulders are comfortable and relaxed, that you have enough props so that you really feel neutral and easy through your face, neck, and shoulders. And then wrap your right hand or forearm behind your right thigh as you flex your right foot and kick your right knee, maybe a right foot a little bit higher than your knee. And then place your left hand palm or forearm on your left thigh and hug your elbows down if they're lifted and winging sideways. And then push on your left leg with your left hand, arm, elbow, whatever, and pull on your right. But look at your knees, open up your eyes, look and see if your knees are right next to each other. They don't have to touch, they're about hips distance, but your legs have not moved despite the best efforts of your arms. Now tip and tuck your pelvis again. Like what? So what I mean by this is even as your legs are being held in place by these isometric actions, holding, breathing, squeezing, you rock your pelvis front to back to lift and lower your lumbar spine. When your low back is pressing flat next time, press one more breath left and right, and then relax and come on out and rock side to side. Whew. Take a big breath in and let it go. Now we'll do the second side. Wrap your left hand or arm behind your left leg, push the top of your right leg, and before we press and pull, drop your elbows down. Then push right, pull left. And once more, unless you hate it, in which case you leave it out, rock your pelvis front to back. Notice that the rocking of your pelvis, particularly backwards, belly button up towards your nose, means you have to engage your abdominal muscle, rectus abdominis, etc. So pull your belly button down to your spine as you press your low back flat. And remember that thing called breathe it. Next time your back is flat, push and hold, breathe. I'm starting to get hot. Anybody else starting to get hot? Ugh, this is where we rush over and change the air conditioning. And relax. Now take your block between your inner knees, pretty high, really pretty close to your kneecaps, and gingerly lower your feet so you're not overtaxing your back. Press your feet flat, spread your toes, deepen your footprints, and reach your arms down to the outer edges of your mat. And before you lift up into bridge, gently scoop your tailbone up to press your low back flat and walk your shoulder blades down away from your ears and see if you can stick as many of your skin cells that are on your back body into the mat as possible. So trying to remove any lifted areas and flattening any areas that you can. And depending on the shape of your body, your bones, etc., certain areas will not flatten into the mat. That's not a problem. They might be flattening into a blanket, or there may be no contact, and that's okay. Squeeze your block as tightly as you can. Squeeze your buttock muscles. Sorry for imagery like this, but try not to go to the bathroom 1, 2, or anything. So squeeze, 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 tighten. That means lifting your pelvic floor. Then curl your tailbone up as you lift your hips for your bridge pose. So this is a slow, low, effortful bridge. And when you get as high as is comfortable, breathe in, keep the squeeze of your buttock muscles, and pull your hips to your heels as you lower down one vertebra at a time, rippling through your spine. Inhale when you're all the way down. Exhale, squeeze, flatten, and then lift. So it's very much of a scoop up where your tailbone leads the lift of your hips. And once you're up as far as is comfortable, you roll back down from top to bottom, one little tiny vertebral bump at a time until your whole back is pressing flat as it can. And one more time, inhale while you're down, exhale to lift. And once you've lifted into this bridge pose, float your arms up zombie style above your shoulders. You can always lower your hips down when you need to, but if you're okay to hover in your bridge, sweep your arms all the way to the left, maybe even peeling your right shoulder blade off the mat a little bit. Then reach your arms behind your head towards the wall behind you, and then all the way to the right. And then arms down to your knees and over to the left. It's kind of like doing the wave at Fenway or something like that. Not really. I mean, really. How many times have I done the wave at Fenway? Probably once. In all the years of living here. All right, round you go one more time in whichever circle direction you started in with your arms. And if it works for you to go the other way, great. If you need to come on down and rest, pull your knees into your chest, that is a really nice option, or any other resting option you prefer. This is meant to be a bit of a massage for the muscles between your shoulder blades. Bless you. When you've done your circles both ways and you're like, yeah, resting time, ripple your spine back down, bring your knees into your chest, squeezing your block the whole time. Sorry for bad news. So if you took your block away and you hate it, to keep it away. Otherwise, put your block back and flex your feet to bend your knees and squeeze your block tightly. And bring your arms to a comfortable version of a T. Your arms might need to drape downwards like the branches of a pine tree, or they might be able to go straight out right and left. And then as you squeeze your block, pull your toes to your knees, turn your chin gently to the right. As you turn your chin right, reach your left arm left. Anybody feel a little stretch in your left shoulder and neck area? Yeah, interesting, right? Inhale here. Exhale, push down from palm to palm all the way through your shoulders and tilt your hips and legs to the left any amount. You might tilt quite far. And if it feels really easy, you can straighten out your knees, Jatara Parivartanasana, which means that you drag your belly button to the right, push down with your left arm. Both of your shoulders are completely grounded, as are your arms and hands. Then slow motion, come back to the center. And you might say, nope, knees bend is way better for me. Okay, take a big breath in here in the middle. Exhale, turn your chin left as your legs go right, either with straight knees or bent knees, squeezing your block. If you hold in the twist, particularly with a long lever arm of straight legs, you may find you get more effort. You feel you have to exert more effort in the part of your core muscles to stabilize you so you don't fall over and crash to the floor. Back to the center. Let's do one more each side and choose. Maybe the leg straight thing is just too much. It's much, a lot of force required, and it may not be appropriate. Yeah. So Yes, exactly. So you limit the twist because you don't allow your shoulders to lift. Thank you. Excellent. Better to be tighter in. Yes, better to bend your knees and have your knees more near your belly button level than to have your legs straight and kicking out to the foot of your mat. Yeah, because otherwise it can be a lot for the hip flexors, which makes me ask Laura, how are you doing with your hip flexors? Yes. Well, I really bad leg because long leg does. Yes, good, good, good. Yes, good, good, good. All right. When you've done the both, come on back. Slowly bring your knees into your chest. Take away your block and make a circle on the ceiling with your knees to release your hip flexors, also your back and your pelvis a little bit. And then go the other way with your circle. Okay. And now we'll put a block underneath your head and take a second block in hand. And then what we get to do, it's so much fun, is put the tall block on your left thigh and kick your left leg above your knee. And then place your right elbow opposite to your left leg. Right elbow. It's actually really my lower humerus bone, upper arm bone. Your elbow point is not really necessarily on the block, or maybe it is if you have a nice long torso. I have a very tiny little short torso. So the placement of your right arm on the block is meant to be able to help you squeeze the block between your left thigh and your right arm. Your head can be on this block, or my right leg is just bent and hovering. It's not doing anything special at the moment. If you don't really like the block under your head, you can interlace your both hands behind your head, really the back of your neck. And even though it's a diagonal kind of support, you can rest your head in your interlaced hands, where both of your elbows are comfortably arranged so that your shoulder joints are easy and soft. Now, flex your right foot, flex your left foot, squeeze your block, and try to lift your shoulder blades up so that your left knee can move a little bit down to the foot of your mat. Then push out through your right leg at the angle that allows you to keep your low back flat. And then retract your right knee back into your armpit. If it's manageable to do so, it allows you to engage your internal and external oblique muscles, your second and third layers of abdominals. So if it's okay to do it for you, it's great. But if it feels better to do simultaneous leg, you're going to still be engaging your core muscles, and that works just fine. So you can always have it be left elbow on your block, not a problem. The most important feature is the pressure you exert on the block, which helps you to press your low back flat and asks you to engage your upper rectus abdominis muscles, upper abdominal muscles, when normally we don't really do that very much. You won't feel even across your shoulders. One shoulder, your right shoulder, will most certainly lift up a little bit. And if you take away the block, you can even hover your shoulders and interlace your hands behind your head in lieu of resting on the block. So then you come on down and you simply squeeze the block with your elbow, same leg, same arm as leg. You can even take both hands behind your head or rest your head on your block. Simply press one elbow into the knee of the same leg and then switch it up. Opposite, same leg as arm. So switching into same arm and not moving your leg at all. Yeah. Is that better? Or just... Okay, okay. So then you bring your knees into your chest, you rock side to side, massage it out. Yeah, that's it. Switching sides if you're doing the horrible crossbody or same leg as arm body. Yes. Yep, yep, absolutely. So opposite. That's it. You've got your opposite hand on your block. In principle, we put your opposite elbow on the block, but that might be too much because that requires you to lift up off of your block a little bit or squeeze your, there you go. So that is a held position, which you could bring this right knee back in, not reach it out, and just squeeze your block in the crossbody mode. That's the pose. And then you switch it. So we don't want to stay on one side. That's it, Susan, so long that you feel you've really taxed yourself beyond what's workable, then you come back out, right? That's it, Elizabeth. That's it, Claire. Yeah, crossbody, crossbody. There we go, Sherry. Good. That's it, Carmen. That's it. Yes, really being conservative here because the primary movement is your low back flattening. All this stuff with your legs and arms is secondary maneuvers. How's it feeling now? Yeah, so don't overdo it. Better to rest and breathe. When you feel like you kind of went a little bit too far in one direction, we back off and really take a break. Yeah, that's it, Laura. Good. 6,000 more. I'm sure you're happy to do 6,000 more of these. And when you think, oh, enough already, come on back and down. Now, this next one is to gently bring your knees into your chest, add the height under your head that allows your shoulders and neck to completely relax here. So, really, a moment of respite. Maybe you even roll up your blanket, creating that lovely soft cylinder behind the curve of your neck. And that can affect your back too. If you have a really nice kind of relaxing, super relaxing experience in your neck, it can bring your nervous system down a notch and make that discomfort in your back feel less onerous. Now, in this position with your hands holding on to the backs of your thighs, slowly kick your right heel any amount to the ceiling with a flexed foot. Whoa, good morning, hamstrings. When you straighten out your leg, you might find your knee straightens all the way, but perhaps not, and we don't force it. When your knee is as straight as is manageable, point through your foot like a dancer. Maybe try to straighten your knee a little more. Big breath in, rebend your right knee. Now, second side, kicking your left heel any amount upwards. Feel the back of your leg. You can even use your left hand to notice, wow, those extensor tendons. I feel the hamstring tendons on either side of the back of my knee bumping out because you're creating tension in the muscle as you elongate through the back of your left leg. Maybe point your foot if that's in your practice, and then rebend your knee. Big breath in when you come on down. One more time. Now, if it feels like a really big stretch, move your right leg closer to the foot of your mat, even bringing your right leg straight up perpendicular instead of tilted towards your body. We'll switch and do it one more time on the left. Often I'll use my palm warm and squeezing the back of my hamstring as I straighten my leg. That can provide a little bit more of a feeling of support for lengthening your hamstrings. And then slowly make your windshield, or not windshield wipers, but your butterfly knee circles, holding your legs, particularly if your hamstrings, hip flexors and back are talking to you, hold on to your legs. As you circle your knees wide apart, back together, down to the foot of your mat. And same thing again, massaging out your back. And then go the other way with your knee circles. Yeah, so it seems like we do a lot of knee circle-y things, and that's because it can really help release your back. All right. Now, from here, where I'd like to go is to have us roll over onto your side body. And for that, it's really helpful to put down probably 2 blankets. We did this the other day or Friday, I think. Oh, by the way, how was Liz? I'm sure you must have loved meeting. Anybody get to meet Liz Owen for the first time? Or you'd already, yeah, she's a fantastic teacher. And as I say, an original gangster. She's been teaching. She's been in the Iyengar adjacent community for a very long time. And she really is a lovely, lovely teacher. So bolster under your ear will be lying on your left side. And this can be a pose where you don't move, but you stabilize and engage your muscles around a long, straight, neutral spine. So a neutral spine typically means that you have the curve in your upper back, that's the natural kyphosis, a gentle curve in your low back, natural lordosis, a gentle curve in your sacrum. So you have already natural curves, but for most of us, they tend to be exaggerated. And the one that's most exaggerated is typically your lumbar spine. So we'll be working that same posterior tilt that we worked this morning so far on your back, but now on your side. As you lay upon your left ear, left shoulder, left hip, and left ankle, kick your heels and soles down to the foot of your mat with your feet in hen position, as opposed to Barbie position. If your left baby toe and edge of your left foot is comfortable pressing into the mat, for some that can be quite stabilizing. Your right hand can also help to stabilize you if you put it down on the mat in front of your chest and push down with your palm. Then notice as you've lain yourself down, is your head in front of your line of your spine? And are your feet also, your legs, kicked forward? Can you line yourself up in one straight line so that the crown of your head, your shoulders, your hips, and the soles of your feet are all in one straight line, like those houses that are called railroad houses? You walk in the front door and you see straight through all the rooms. Same idea, head, shoulders, hips, feet. What's that? Shotgun shack. I like that. You can shoot right down the middle, right? Then, if you wish to lift your legs, you can. This is a nice exploration where, as you put your right hand on your right waist and any amount, kick both legs long, potentially lifting your outer right ankle up to the ceiling, squeezing your block. Perhaps your legs will lift a little bit, but the goal is not height so much as length. The goal is more to scoop your belly back and squeeze your buttocks, lengthen through your spine as you keep the action of squeezing your buttocks and pulling your belly button to your spine. Up and down at your pace, right? For some, lifting and holding actually feels pretty good. So you can certainly add holds into this. And if you hold on the lower part, sure, that's fine too, right? Lifting and lowering. Now, if you wish to lift your left ear off of the mat, off of the bolster, and reach your right arm skyward, as you lift your legs, you can lift your shoulders, your left shoulder and your head off the bolster and come back either to hover or rest all the way down and lift. So you can harness even more of the muscles on the side of your trunk if you want to lift your torso as well, your upper body. Yes, not at all. Nice soft blanket under your hip is primary. You really need squish under your hip point because for some people, otherwise you cannot lift your legs. It's too painful. It gets really painful. Yeah, it digs in. It's not lovely. Shelly, how are you doing here? All right, not overdoing, right? So really, really good. Flex your feet as best you can, everybody. Yes, Laura. Push through your heels. Yes, Naomi. Very good. That's it, Elizabeth. Draw your navel into your spine and bring your head back. That's it, Kathleen. That's it, Sherry. Even further back with your head and bring your feet behind you, Sherry. Yes, because our hip flexors, Carmen, nice. Your hip flexors want to take over. They're pretty locked, pretty short, and they're often actually pretty strong. That's it, Susan. Nice work. Long spine. And when you think, okay, I'm done, that's it. Bend your knees. There you go, Carol. Bend your knees in front of you and stay right where you are, resting on your left side. And now just take your shoulder, not at first, maybe not your whole arm, although you can certainly go into it if you wish. Just your shoulder, right shoulder rolls up towards your ear, then pulls back behind you, then rolls forward of you, which starts to rotate your torso. If it works for you to bend your elbow and now lead with your elbow, you can take your right elbow way out in front of you in this lying twist, which is becoming a twist here stealthily. Elbow can open up to the right, and you can even turn your head to the right as your arm goes behind you. So you end up twisting your upper body to the right and to the sky, but not your lower. Finally, if you'd like to extend your right arm, that can, for some, really allow you to get into your pectoral muscles. Coordinating with your neighbor is always an interesting exercise here. Yeah. Now, if you wish to stay in the twist, please feel free. You have the option as your arm goes out to the right and your chest opens up to the sky. You can even reach your left arm further to the left to further allow your right shoulder to fall towards the mat. And you can turn your chin from side to side to see which angle is appropriate for your head and neck. For some of us, having your right arm extended doesn't feel good. And then, if that's the case, I'll fold my right arm across my outer ribs here, like a little bird bringing your wing back into your body. Yeah. Take a nice deep breath wherever you are. And exhale, let it go, roll onto your back, and we'll switch over to the other side. So really linking breath to movement here. Of course, when you're doing the leg lift, it feels like you're supposed to hold your breath, but actually that's not the goal. So with your right ear pressing gently into your bolster, right arm stretches out in front of you. If you wish for the block between your upper thighs, I'm a huge fan, as you already know. I always say it, blah, blah, blah. arrange your head in line with your torso. If in the first side you needed to pull your head back and kick your feet behind you, it's likely you'll need to do that again. Push your left palm into the mat in front of you to help you engage your upper body. You can use your arms and chest muscles. And then, if you wish to lift and lower your legs, just like you did on side A, you may find that you really don't need to lift a lot. And you really might even feel like you can't lift very much. And that's fine because the muscle action required is huge for even a small translocation of your legs upward towards the sky. If you want to put your left hand on your side waist, you can get a real feeling for how much engagement is happening. And then again, your left arm can stretch up high, and you can even either lift your head and hover it, keep it lifted, or lift and lower both your legs and your head. Honestly, my right shoulder really doesn't lift up much at all, but if I lift my head and reach my arm up, I do feel a deeper contraction, a more extensive contraction along the left side of my body. So that's what we're looking for if you're looking for an uptick in intensity. Yes. If you're looking for a little bit less intensity, keep your head grounded and really work more on the alignment of your low back, which is to say, try to squeeze your belly button back to your spine, tuck your tailbone forward in front of you, and lengthen through your legs and torso more so than focusing on the lift. That's it, Carmen. Exactly. I wonder if your feet could go behind you just a teeny bit more and your left hip could come to Dunkin' Donuts 1 more inch. Your left hip, your top hip, rotate your top hip. That's it, right? So you're even more teetery, harder to balance. There you go. Feel that a little more on your left side? Yes. Because when your hips rotate backwards, when your belly button rotates even just a little bit to the sky, your hip flexors kick in. That's it. Nice, Michael. Yeah. Ah, nice. I like the twist, Milton. Good. Breathing. When your body says, yikes, I'm tired, I'm done, bend your knees forward in front of you and make your left shoulder rolls. You might go straight to the straight arm one, but if you're comfortable, instead starting with your left shoulder, you can roll it up towards your ear, back behind you, back in front. Maybe you do the elbow mediated twisty openy thing. And maybe you do the straight arm thing. Of course, again, navigating your neighbor's arm movements, coordinating with your neighbor. Sometimes I feel a nice stretch through my upper arm and chest when I stretch my left arm out and down. You can even reach your right arm further to the right, which can serve to help you bring more of your shoulder girdle onto the floor. And if you wish to stay in the twist and breathe and hold, please feel free. Or come back to your side, breathe and hold there. You don't need to be hanging out in the twist, especially if it bothers your shoulder or shoulders. One more breath wherever you are in the twisty arm movement thing. And exhale, rest. Gently inhale as you roll onto your back. And exhale, bring your knees into your chest. So take your time to come back onto your back. Your bolster can be your pillow. And just bring your knees into your chest and rock side to side. Okay, then we'll roll over onto your front body. Good news, you've already got your blanketing there. You may want to unfurl your blanketing there, Marion, so that the blanketing you have is even and equal under both your chest and your hips. So in other words, you're not laying atop a blanket berm, but rather a nice flat magic carpet thing. And I always like, as you already heard me say bazillions of times, to put a blanket under my feet, but you may find you don't need that. Now, bring your strap with you, please, because what I'd love to be able to do is to hold a strap across the back of my body. So if you are comfortable with this kind of a position for your arms, your hands can be any width apart. And sometimes it's not so lovely because you have to grip with your hands. So you might benefit from having a loop in lieu of a straight strap. And that way you'll be able to put your forearms or wrists into your strap and therefore not tax your hands. So if you have any hand pain, a loop can be really nice. And then finally, if you have just a simple interlace that feels good on your body, you can always do that. And we'll meet on your front body with your legs and feet hips distance apart, your chest and hips down on your blanket. I almost always need to adjust my blanket a little bit higher so that my chest is truly on the same height as my hips. Yeah. And then we have your forehead tucking down. You can put a folded blanket under your forehead so that you don't have to squash your nose into the mat if you don't love that. And we start here with your strap across the back of your body, either your loop available or your strap running right to left. But start without holding your strap, just let it dangle there, let it drape, and bring your feet down, legs down. And start just by pounding the tops of your feet, either on the mat or on your blanket. You can always tuck your toes under to do this, or keep the tops of your feet down. All right, then gently bend your knees, flex your feet 90-degree at your knees, and bring both heels wide for a moment and pause. Heels are wide, which means a pigeon toe action in your upper thigh bones. Squeeze your buttocks gently and try to press your tailbone down. Try to pull your belly button up. You might even need to lengthen your head a little bit forward, your spine getting a little longer. Now, keep your legs like this, but just swing your left foot towards your right. Now you're twisting to the right with your legs. Your right hip might rise. Now, just your left leg goes back out and open. Then your right leg folds across. So we're sort of dissecting our windshield wipers. Bent, nice bent. So this is a windshield wiper situation. Both feet are wide, feet are flexed, both heels are wide, knees are bent. So your both feet are out to the right and left. Neither one is joining each other. So we start with both feet wide. Yeah, so pause with both feet wide, not windshield wipering, but just bring both feet out to the sides. Then, with both feet wide, you just bring your left foot towards your right. That's a slow windshield wiper. Your feet go to the right. Keep your legs right, but just your left leg now goes back out to the side. So you're pigeon toeing. Now just your right leg. So this is a really strange thing to do. I know. Legs are going to the left, both legs. This is classic windshield wiper. Stay here, but not just your right leg goes back to the middle, pigeon toe both legs. Then your left leg. Yeah, this is one of those tricky ones. Then just your left leg goes back out. So your middle is where you stay. Then you cross your right ankle over to the left and then sweep it back to the right. Middle is where you stay. Then your left ankle crosses to the right and goes back out to the left. Very good. One more time each side. Both feet are wide in the middle. Then your right leg crosses left. And back to the center. Both feet are wide. Now, last one, left ankle crosses right. That's it. And back to the center. And if you're like, what the heck? Let it go. Now, crisscross windshield wipers, which means that both legs go wide and you cross one shin in front of the other, and both legs go wide, cross the other shin in front of the other. You could always revert to any other version of windshield wiper or straighten out your legs and swish your buttocks just from side to side. Yeah. Great question. When my one leg comes over, I do feel that side of my hip lift. When my leg goes back, so I'm in my pigeon toe center, both hips are even. Then the other leg crosses and I'm rotating up a little bit, so my left hip point does leave the mat. Great question, Sarah. Yeah? So yes, your pelvis rocks from side to side when you do this. And I promise we're done. That was a lot. And your legs go down. Now, reach for your strap, either in your loop or an interlace if you don't need a strap, or grab your strap. I like to wrap the flat part of the strap around the fleshy part of my hands so that as I'm pulling right to left, I have this felt sense that the strap is providing a little bit of friction, which means it's a little less slippy and my hands feel less like they less have a little less tension in my hands. Now, with your legs and feet hips distance apart, squeeze your buttock muscles, press your tailbone and your pubic bone deep into the blanket and try to pull your belly button up. Now keep your chest grounded, but keep your head lengthening forward. So we're not trying to scrunch your chin to your chest, rather the opposite. Lengthen the crown of your head towards the bottom or the top of your mat. Now pull your low ribs up and together also. Close the baggage compartment and see if you can create a long, low concavity from your pubic bone up to your sternum. Then pull your strap any amount right to left and see if it might allow you to squeeze your shoulder blades together. Even reach your arms back down towards your ankles and slowly lift your head as a test maneuver. If it feels like it's a lot on your back, put your head back down. If your head is floating comfortably, great, keep it there. Otherwise, head down. Then lift and lengthen your left leg and hover it just a little bit above the mat. Doesn't have to be a lot, but it could be as high as you want it to go. Then put your left leg down and reach your right leg long, then lift it and put it back down. Now you can keep that reaching, lengthening, and lifting one leg at a time as you pull your strap down towards your ankles, not so much up towards the ceiling. If you wish to hover both legs, hover both legs. Maybe when your legs are hovering, it may feel different to lift your head, because you've got more engagement all along your whole back line. And for some of us, when your feet and legs are lifted, all of a sudden your head is lighter and there's much less effort in your low back. Squeeze your buttocks, press your tailbone, try to maintain that concavity, although it's virtually impossible. And then lift and reach your arms any amount up and back, which may serve to help you peel your hips and legs. I mean, your legs, not your hips, shoulders up off the mat. Yes, now levitate, lift your whole body. Everybody float to the sky. Okay, that's good. Breathing, squeezing, pulling from right to left. Feel the broadening of your chest. Feel the squeezing of your rhomboids. This is the anti-dowager's hump maneuver. Breathing, lifting, lengthening. And when you're ready, come on down, stack your palms under your forehead, bend your knees, and take your favorite version of windshield wipers. Let go of all that weird stuff I did earlier. Breathe into your side ribs. As you breathe, you can also breathe into your low lungs, your belly. And then if you're making a circle with your windshield wipers, see if you can add in the second direction as well. Now we have one more version to do, which is to take your block. And of course, I had you lie down, and now probably your block is nowhere near you. And if you have that situation, raise your hand, I'll bring you a block. Okay, now we can drop the strap aside, cast it aside, like your feather boa after the long evening at the dance, and bring your, whatever, bring your block by your right hand. Now, if your block can go on your right palm and rest itself next to your body, you're lying here like a sea lion on the beach, with your block resting in your right hand, palm facing up, block heavy on your right hand, legs and feet are hips distance apart. We start by taking a really big breath in to fill up your whole rib cage with breath. And as you exhale, squeeze your buttocks, press your pubic bone down, create that concavity we were creating earlier, and float both legs or just one up and back. Head still down. You can always do a slow switcheroo, one leg at a time. It's always an option. So instead of both legs hovering, you slowly lift and lower one leg at a time, scissoring your legs, one down, one up. If you can float your head without it feeling like it's a bit much on your back, float your head. Always put it back down. Then, wherever you are, float your right arm with your block any amount to the sky, but not into shoulder stress. Then take your left arm up as well, hand up, and see if you can hand your block to your left hand and lift a little high. Then hand your block to your right hand. Now try not to bend your elbow as you hand your block. For most humans, it's not really that easy. If you do have the option to bend your wrist, but try not to bend your elbow, which means that you're pulling your arms close behind and above your back. But of course, it's not that easy. Yes. Now, if you wish to take a break, take your block around the top of your head from one hand to the other, and this time make a circle on the ceiling with your block. Of course, we hit our neighbors with our blocks. The idea is that you're in a flooded room. Your body is almost immersed and you don't want your block to get wet. So you keep your block above the level of your body as you circle first one direction and then the other. And if you start to feel a little bit tired in your back, that's your invitation to lie down. We don't stay into an uncomfortable fatigue. Everybody gets a, that's a great idea. We can pass the block. That would be really fun. All right. And then come on down, take a break. That's a lot for your back. Now, for some, resting here, just swish your buttocks from side to side. For others, you might slowly engaging your buttock muscles and scooping your belly up. All the while, you might creep up into child's pose. A very slow transition. And for others, slow flip onto your back for an upside down child's pose. If when you do this, you can bring your knees a little bit wide, maybe even rock from side to side in whichever child's pose you've chosen. This rolling of your bones a little bit in your child's pose, you might even feel your femur bones, your pelvis rocking and rolling. This can be a nice way to focus on the shape of your bones and then just relax all the soft tissues that are stuck to your bones. Rocking side to side might even mean that your forehead rolls from side to side. I always think of the blotter that one would use to blot your letter after you've written with your quill pen. Ah, all right. Now, super slowly, with a lot of attention, transitions tend to be a place where we lose track of what we're doing. Come up to forearms and knees or hands and knees. All right, so for this, I fold my blanket so I have a nice, soft, squishy place for my knees. And I'm going to keep my blanket that's under the tops of my feet simply because then I don't get cramps in my feet and I don't have to tuck my toes under. For some of you, you will not need that blanket under your feet whatsoever. If you're on your hands and knees, classic tabletop, you might widen your hands more than you normally would and bend your elbows backwards towards your knees. So instead of locking my elbows with my shoulders right over my wrists, I bend my elbows and bring my hands a good 5 to 6 inches in front of where my armpits are. If you're on your forearms, that can be nice to put blocks there. You can be right on the mat. But here we want to scoop your belly up so that even though you're in a tabletop, which could mean that you have a little curve in your low back downward, we're scooping your low back to a flatter position by pulling your belly button in. And then bring your knees together. Maybe they touch. Don't worry if it's not comfortable for your knees to touch, they don't need to. Push your elbows or palms down to lift your shoulders up and broaden your collarbones. Lengthen the crown of your head forward. Then slide your left leg back and kick through your heel of your left leg as you kick your leg long. We're not going for height so much as scooping your belly in and up and trying to flatten out your low back. And then bring your left knee down and we'll switch sides. Flex your right foot, squeeze your right buttock, and see if you can put your right foot directly at the same height as your hip, maybe your shoulder too, although there might be a little discrepancy there. Squeeze your right buttock and come back down. Now, this time your left leg goes back. You might reach your right arm forward as well, working for one long straight body all the way from your fingertips to your heel and then back in. So instead of trying to lift your back leg more, we're working for a long, straight Tadasana mountain pose body instead of a curvy, bendy body looking like a giant U from the side. That's it, Sarah. Nice correction. Yes. One more time each side. Left hand comes down, right arm goes forward. Beautiful, Laura. That's it. They are hips. Your knees start together and you go straight up from there. So it's a little bit of a more of a constrained alignment. And if it feels too close, let your legs stray a little bit to the side. Yep. Yes, it is. If you need your knees wider, do it. Don't need to have your knees so close together. I'm more interested in flexing your foot and straightening your back knee than in how high your leg can go. If you get to put your foot on the wall, I applaud you. That's fun. When you've done a gazillion on both sides, I know I only indicated two or so. Take your child's pose, puppy pose, your favorite resting pose. Yeah, question. Oh, excellent. Oh, I'm so happy. Oh, I love this. Okay, awesome. So happy. Oh, well, all right. So my first go-to would be to take a strudel folded blanket and put it on your low back. Simply because that gives you a feeling, oh yeah, and I can push up into there is, yeah. So unless you have real shoulder discomfort in both shoulders, in which case you probably aren't doing this anyway. So the propless way to give yourself a sense, and it's never going to be exact unless you have mirrors right and left. If you do it at home with a mirror, actually that can be really helpful so that you get the feeling, oh, when I do that, it's flat. Now close your eyes, do that, kick your leg, then look at the mirror, right? So train yourself in a mirror. If you don't have a mirror and all these other props, I'll show it with hands and knees. So of course, I'm going to have something under my knees because that's otherwise not comfortable. But the idea is this: scoop your belly in and up and do a cat pose in your low back, but not your upper, right? So my head and chest are reacting here. This is cat, but instead it's just my low back, cat, your low back. Okay. I have no idea whether my back is truly flat or not, but as I reach my leg back and tap my toes down, I can scoop my belly again, right? Recat your back. Then, even if you need to widen out your feet and knees a little bit for stability, place your back of your hand on your back. Then cat, cow, your back. Oftentimes, it's more helpful to do a mini cat cow to feel what range you have in terms of positioning so that when your leg is lifted, you can cat as best you can towards what feels straight and then even a little more. Most of the time, we need to cat even a little more. Exactly. So you can do cat cow where you have scoop and curl like this, just your lower body. And that can be really helpful as a pre-exercise for the one with the leg extended. And using a mirror, I think, is invaluable. Even just spending 5 minutes in front of a mirror once in your life, and you may already have the information you need. That's a great question. Now, for those that somebody else, exactly, exactly, exactly. Yeah, 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 yeah. Do the pose with your daughter right in the room and say, "Is my low back flat, Miriam?" Yeah. Now, for anyone who likes regular downward dog, please feel free to go right into it. Of course, you have options in terms of putting your forearms down. You can do a downward dog variation like this with your knees bent, your spine long, but I'm a huge fan of downward dog on the wall. So as those of you who like downward dog on the floor go into your favorite down dog, I'll cue you into the wall downward dog for anyone who would like to give that a whirl. I start with my elbows pinned. So the first pose is not hands on the wall, but elbows stuck to the side of your waist. Really, it's my upper arm bone stuck to my ribs, but I'm trying to bring my elbows to contact my side waist. That pins my arms in a certain position. Then I can bring my palms upwards just outside of my upper arm bones and then plant them on the wall. So you have sort of a W kind of situation with your two elbows pulling down and into your side body, your palms spread, and your hands, instead of being right in front of your shoulders, lined up with your shoulders, are instead planted at a slight angle to the left and to the right. And then as you walk backwards, pull lightly down on the paint so that your elbows stay bent and only walk your feet out as much as you can keep a little bend in your elbows or even a lot. And as you bend your knees and sink your hips back and down, cat your low back slightly, lift your chest so that when you look between your thumbs, your chest and shoulders are elevated, then push the wall and sink your hips back and down. Now, you always have the option to walk your feet further to straighten out your knees, but the primary focus in terms of your pose is the length of your spine and keeping your elbows bent to keep your chest lifted rather than dropping your head down between your arms and stressing out your shoulder joints. When in doubt, bend your knees more, lift your chest more, Bend your elbows down to the floor more. That's it. Nicely done. That's it, Sarah. Yeah, there you go. Take your time. And when you're ready to come on down and take a break, walk into your wall or bring your knees down. Beautiful, Sarah. That's it. Nice, Claire. I love it. Out you come, find your way back onto your mat. Really, really good. Okay, now from here, we'll slowly remove all the stuff from your mat and find your way up to standing. And I'd like to use a strap here this morning with a loop for your Trikonasana Warrior 2 Utthita Parsva Konasana. So all the poses that use the hip angle, like what you have in triangle pose, can benefit from using a strap loop around your, in this case, we'll start with your right thigh. So to put the strap on in a way that's going to help you get the alignment of your hips that we're looking for, you want to if you hold your strap loop with your left hand, orient your strap. So when you're looking at your loop, it looks like a cursive Q. Your strap dangles down to the right, your buckle faces to your right. And when you put your right leg inside, when you tighten your strap loop, which we want to do, you need to pull your strap outwards to the right and backwards behind you. If you realize your strap is tightening in towards your midline, then you need to flip it over. Yeah? And you want your strap way up at the top of your right thigh, so far up, not up your bum, right? It's not all Jane Fonda, but it's pretty Jane Fonda adjacent. Okay. Oh, if you never got to do exercise videos with Jane Fonda in the 80s, she had the leotards with, yeah, yeah. There you go. So we'll be facing in towards the long edge of your mat. So you'll be facing in towards the computer. And we'll be using your right leg as your front leg as we work into triangle pose and warrior 2. So step your feet wide and turn your left toes in and turn your right toes out for warrior 2 to the right. Virabhadrasana 2. With your right toes pointing straight out to the right, take your hands under your hips and gently rotate your belly button to the right about 10 degrees. It's not a big rotation. Now, peek back as you bend your right knee a little bit. Press into your right heel for stability. Peek back at your left leg and see if perhaps you can lift and spread the toes of your left foot. And I often need to lift and reach my left heel a little further out to the left, pigeon toeing my left foot a little bit more. If it feels bad in your ankle or foot, release that. And then sometimes it's nice to have something under your heel here, even in your warrior poses, and see if that feels sufficient to alleviate sort of stress in your ankle. We can always fold it up 1 degree, give you a little more of a berm there, Laura. All right. Now we reach with your left hand behind you and wrap the strap around the around your left palm. So your left hand is hung next to your right glute. And as you as you bring your strap against your right buttock and pull it to the left, look left. Stand up really tall, open up your chest to the left, and bend your right knee more. Looking left, stand tall, draw your left shoulder blade down your back, and any amount that you can pull the strap against your right buttock and directly to your left side. That's the goal, is to pull your strap leftward. Now reach your right arm up and out over your right foot. Keep your chest opening to the long edge of your mat, but now turn your chin all the way to the right. Nice. Now pull your strap more to open your right knee towards your baby toe. Now, if your left hip is pulling back, bring your left hip to the left side of your mat in front of you. In other words, you rotate your left hip a little bit towards Dunkin' Donuts if you're on that side, a little bit toward the clock wall here. That's it, Cherry. And you might need to pull your left toes in a little bit more to allow your left hip to spin towards me more. That's it. You feel the difference? Then lift up tall through the crown of your head, everybody. Pull your sticky mat to the left with your foot like you're stretching pizza dough. Deepen your right heel bend. Nice. Now keep your right arm extended, look all the way left, and really pull on your strap to use your rhomboids, squeezing your shoulder blade to your spine. And then stand all the way up, but keep your feet right where they are. All right, deep breath. Now, Well, where we're going is Utthita Parsvakonasana. Instead of going to triangle right away, we'll do extended side angle. Take a moment, just can you see me all from here a little bit? Okay. The idea is going to be this. You bend your right knee, you come to warrior two. For Utthita Parsvakonasana, what looks like is this. Your hips move away from your right foot. Pull your strap to the left. That deepens your right hip crease, and that allows you to reach your torso up, 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 and out over your right leg. You can look down, bend your knee, reaching so far to the right with your right arm, but pulling so deeply to the left with your strap that you don't even need to put your arm down until you do when you put your arm on your thigh. Yes. Yes. Nice. Spread the toes of your back foot deep in your right heel print. Now use the strap, any amount, to squeeze your left shoulder blade down in towards the middle of your spinal column and open your chest any amount to the ceiling. Now you can always take your left hip and drop it down. If you're feeling uncomfortable in your hips or low back, you may need to swing your left hip not so far up to the sky, but your back hip might need to swing down and forward a little bit to afford you more evenness in your low back. Now let go of your left arm and lengthen your left arm first straight up to the sky. And then only if it serves you, rotate your left palm to face the direction the crown of your head is reaching, and reach your fingertips up, 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 and over. Even if you're shrugging your left shoulder a little bit, but do try to unshrug your right shoulder. And if you want, you can snake your right arm down inside your right thigh, deepening your right knee bend if you need more intensity. Nice. These are beautiful. Then slowly come back out, push the mat away, come on up to stand, pause. Big breath in. Exhale, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel. Woo. You see, I left out triangle on purpose. So triangle is embedded in all of what we just did. Right? Triangle is just where you straighten your right leg. We're just doing triangle with a bent leg. It's the same thing. And for so many people, triangle pose provides an opportunity for hyperextension in your right leg, discomfort in your knees and ankles. And whereas I'm going to encourage you to bend your knee to obviate that. And then if we just bend it a little more, we're in into extended side angle. So that's why triangle pose is implied. Okay, so let's take your strap off of your right leg, flip it over so that you can pull it way up to the top of your left leg. But remember, we want the buckle to be tightening laterally to the side and behind you. Then you know it's oriented in the way we want it. Great. And take your time. There's no time to rush, right? Life, you have one life. So rush, 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 rush. We don't have time for that. Piano, piano. Take your time, right? It's so paradoxical, but it's true, right? When I rush, then nothing happens. All right. Step your feet wide. All right. With your feet nice and wide, spread your toes. Before we move into this full posture, now press the big toe mound of your foot down. So the big knuckle at the base of your big toe, and then your big toe itself. Press down through those 4 points, right and left. Lift the outer edges of your feet and then pull all your other toes sideways, spreading out your feet wide on the mat. Then notice if you can even out any amount the weight in your heels. For me, I still have more weight in my inner heel than in my outer heel. It's really hard not to do that. But if you pull with both feet sideways, using the balls and toes of your feet, try to stretch your sticky mat sideways. Sometimes you can ground a little bit more your outer edges of your feet without supinating. Now, rock on, or not rock onto your heel, but lift your right heel up and kick it out to the right to internally rotate your right thigh, any amount. Now, allow your hips to rotate to the left about 10 degrees, and then swivel your left toes out 90 degrees. So your left foot now is your front foot for your warrior two, which means that as you have your right hand on your hip or somewhere comfortable, bend and straighten your left knee. There we go. Exactly, Laura. Good. Yeah. So heel on. It's kind of hard to figure out the geometry of it sometimes. Yes, right? Where does the angle of the blanket go? So if you go like that, No, you were correct. Yes. Nice. Very good. Bending your left knee. Now hold in a little bit of a knee bend. Doesn't need to be a big one here. And sweep your right arm like you have a cape. Do you want to buy a watch? Right? You sweep your cape all the way around. That doesn't seem to be much of a trope anymore, doesn't it? No. Nobody, duh. It just doesn't have the same ring. You want to buy an Apple Watch? Okay, pull your left hand, blah, 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 blah. Pull on your strap with your right hand against your left glute. Notice what we're wanting is that when you pull your strap, it helps you orient your pelvis so that your left knee can go right over your toes as you bend your left knee into Warrior Two, Virabhadrasana 2. Now, stand up really tall, press down into your left heel, spread all of your toes, raise your eyebrows. Ah, nice. Now, mound of big toe, baby toe of your right foot grounds, lift and spread and stretch the outer edge of your right foot, and see if you can even pull your sticky mat a little more to the right. Maybe that helps you straighten your right knee. Stand up super tall through the crown of your head, pull your strap more to the right, look right, and then try to squeeze and pull your shoulder blade, right shoulder blade, deeper into your spine to open your right chest towards the right side of your mat. Float your left arm up. Take your left shoulder blade and squeeze it in towards the middle of your back. That's that anti-dowager's hump squeeze. Then turn your chin left. Open up your chest. Now notice the temptation to jut your hips forward, upper body back, or upper body forward, hips back. Try to stack your shoulders right above your hips. You can even look down and see. Open up your chest as you again look right and look left. Now turn your left palm up, pull your strap so much to the right that you tilt way over your left leg, but pull your left hip crease deep underneath you. Even look towards your left arm. Scoop your belly in and up. Try not to overarch your back. Big, big, big long reach. Then cut your elbow to your thigh. You push down on your thigh to try to lift your chest so you're not schlumping into your shoulder joint, but lift up. Pull your strap to the right, even look right, and see if you can, any amount, bring just your shoulder girdle into a twist so that you open up your chest towards the ceiling, but maybe it's really more towards the wall in front of you. Finally, if you want, you can slowly release your strap. I like to go really slowly for my shoulder here because sometimes you can end up at an angle that doesn't feel good. Maybe you turn your palm to face the direction the crown of your head is facing as you reach your right arm high. If you wish to reach your arm over your ear, you can even shrug your shoulder as you reach and stretch your right foot to the right, even looking to your fingertips to stretch even more, or look straight down and check that your left ribs are directly over your left thigh. Nice. Press through your left heel, pull your navel in and up, straighten through your back knee. One more breath. Then circle your right arm down, around, and slowly straighten out your left leg, hands to your hips. Pivot onto your left heel, rotate your left toes in, and then heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe. Ah, take a walk. All right. Oh my God, it's late. Take a walk. I'll look at the clock. All right. Shake, shake, shake. And we'll use the strap one more time now for a version of Dancer, which has your foot inside a teeny tiny loop. So you just make one little small loop and put your right foot in it. And of course, you can do Dancer without holding your foot. You can do Dancer holding your foot with your hand, and you can do it with your strap. I really like to hold the wall because you can always let go of a wall, but you can't always find a wall when there isn't one. So I kind of like to put my left hand on the wall or any surface that allows for a gentle support. And then you bring your feet and legs together. Micro bend your knees, squeeze your inner thighs, and draw your belly in and up. So you shore everything up so that before you start to try to balance, you've engaged muscle action through your thighs, your hips, your buttocks, all the abdominal muscle action you can bring to bear. And then reach your right hand down if you're using a strap to a pretty low level as long as your arm can go with a micro bend in your elbows. You're not fully straight. Now, for some, just lifting your heel up and back is a complicated situation. I find that I lift my heel a little bit, then I have to rejigger, grab my strap, wrap it again, then I can lift it more. It's not that easy to go from the floor. I could lift my leg in front, but that's a whole hip flexor thing, and we want to avoid that right now. So here's my dancer. Micro bend left knee, squeeze inner thighs, grow tall. Maybe my right foot is closer to my buttocks, or maybe it's about 90 degrees. Both are totally fine. You can flex your back foot too. For some, that's really helpful. From here, if you wish to deepen your pose, squeeze your shoulder blades together to broaden your chest, and imagine you have that strap around your arms and your arms are behind you like they were in Shalabhasana. If you wish here to push your foot back, elbow bends up to the sky any amount, micro bend your left knee. If you wish to push your foot deep into your strap, you can do that and you're done. You don't go any further. Maybe you take your left arm and reach it high. If you want more intensity, you can reach down and even grab your little baby loop with your hand or grab your foot. And as you lift up, squeeze your right shoulder blade to your spine, drop your right knee, and kick your foot into your hand into your foot or strap. If you lift your right leg up, that may eventually cause your torso to lean forward, but you're not diving for the floor. Indeed, you're trying to reach for the ceiling up in front of you. Pushing your foot into your strap into your foot, reach your left arm higher. Yes. Nice. These are beautiful. And when your body's ready to come on down, gently fold and release. Really nice poses, shake out. So this is not a down pose. This is an up pose. We're not reaching for the floor. It's like the tea kettle. The teapot doesn't tip unless you lift the handle, right? The handle is your leg. That's what lifts you and tips you forward. Okay, second side. You can always eschew the strap and say, that's stupid. I don't like this strap. If you get a hamstring cramp when you try to grab your foot like that, and if it doesn't bother your hip flexors, with or without the strap, you can take your foot up in front, rejigger your strap, swing your knee down, keeping your heel in close, and then you've avoided the trying to reach and grab for your foot behind you, which can be a hamstring situation. So eventually, where we want to be is here with your knees together, your hand or strap on your foot, and that's it. You're in dancer. You do not need to go any further. This is a beautiful pose for balancing. Option to put your hand on the wall or not. But do try to stand up really tall and micro bend your right knee, squeeze your inner thighs and engage your buttock muscles as well as your abdominals. Then maybe you pull your shoulder blades together behind your back to broaden your chest. Both shoulder blades squeeze together. Then kick your left foot into your hand. Maybe your foot travels back. Doesn't need to. If you want to kick further, lift your chest more. Kicking your foot further comes with more uplift through your trunk. Kick and reach, lift and reach. Up, up, up to go up. Everything up. Yes, nice. And you'll notice that by pulling on your strap or your foot, your back muscles all engage through that tension you've created. Beautiful. That's it, Naomi. Nice, Susan. Beautiful tall spine. That's it, Sherry. That's it, Kathleen. Really nice hip alignment. There you go. That's it, Cecile. Yeah, nice balance, Michael. Very good. That's it, Carol. Exactly. Exactly, Marion. When you think, oh, enough already, let's do a neck and shoulder releaser. This is the one where you take a gentle squat. If you have a variation that includes hanging and both arms swinging, or simply resting one elbow and doing one arm at a time, I'd like to have a moment to let go of some of the tension that may have crept in during dancer, Natarajasana. Ah. Switching sides if you had one arm down. For some, it works better if you keep your head and neck aligned rather than hanging. It's a really interesting exercise to try to let go of muscle action. We spent the whole hour pretty much working muscle action, engaging, and now I'm asking you to all of a sudden let go. And that's a totally different modality. Ooh, Naomi, I love that pigeon. I think we're going to have to go into pigeon now. Really nice. All right, so take your time. Now, the way I like to do pigeon, you can go right into your favorite version. I love it. Fabulous. There is a version of pigeon that I've recently started to practice and teach, which allows me to do a pigeon-ish thing without impinging on my knee in the same way that pigeon often will do. And so I will put a blanket down, but that's just me being a baby. I love a soft blanket under my body. Now, if you don't like it, you don't need it. But the idea is to have also by you a block or two. And the idea for this particular pigeon is simply this. It's easy for me to say simply this. Even this is not great for everybody. But when you're sitting on your butt and you bring your right leg out in front of you with a bent knee, the idea is to place your right buttock bone, your knee, and your ankle in a position where the blanket is underneath you or the mat is underneath you. So you're padded in your whole front right leg and your right buttock. Then, with your right knee bent, flex your right toes. So you've engaged these tendons around your knee. It's a subtle support. But notice I'm sitting on my right buttock and I have a 90-degree angle on my right knee. Okay. This is not our normal pigeon. If you have a different pigeon, awesome, go for it. Now, if you lift your chest and tent your fingers or put your hands on blocks, you might find you can lean forward over your right leg, opening up your collarbone, you're broadening your chest, and any amount leaning forward over this bent right leg. And finally, if you look back at your left leg and you think, well, I suppose I could reach it back, you might stretch it back a little bit. For some, you can even tuck your toes under and weirdly, oh my goodness, look at that. My left leg is behind me. You're not fully square. Your left hip has no contact with the floor. You're resting only on your right hip here. And then finally, if you wish, you can drape your upper body down, maybe put a block under your forehead or blocks under your forearms here. And you can lean in a more resting way onto and over your right thigh. Eventually, if it works, you can find your way to dropping your left hip a little more, and that can help you explore the sort of pigeonish situation that you can get in your right hip. Yes. Now, of course, this is a different version of pigeon because we've got this 90-degree angle at your right knee. If you pull your right foot back so that now the angle at your right knee is much shorter and smaller, that for some allows you to drop your left hip even further. It's not better, it's just different. Yeah. So pigeon can be done with a 90-degree angle in your front leg, and it can be done with a much shorter, much more acute angle in your front leg. Beautiful variations. I love it. And when your body says, okay, I suppose I could be encouraged to switch sides, I roll to the right. So I really come out by rolling sideways, swing my legs around, roll over onto your left haunch. I think this is a haunch right here, right? Isn't that a haunch? Flex your left foot. And then that's it. You don't need to do anything special with your right leg. Oh boy, hello, deep rotators. Piriformis, hi there. Breathing. You have 6 others. But piriformis is the most famous of these muscles that we're really targeting here with this stretch. Breathing, relaxing, using props under your arms, maybe creeping your right foot back. Yeah. Really take your time. Oh, I love it, Kathleen. Nice variation. Legs up the wall, figure 4. Awesome, Elizabeth. Yes, Shelley, good. That's it, Laura. How's that feel on your hip? All right, good. Yeah, no knee strain. Good. Coming into it from low and slow and from the side is often means that we don't bother our knees when we do this variation, whereas if we do this variation from above, we end up tweaking the knee. Yeah, no need. Yeah, staying way over your left leg, even out to the left, is great. You do not need to shift your body to the right at all. And God knows we can get a good stretch here. Notice your breathing. If you're kind of holding your breath, really take a big full breath in and a full breath out. Yeah, nice there. I love the cross body situation. And when you are ready to roll onto your back, I have a variation of Supta Baddha Konasana that I like to do, which you might be like, that's stupid. I don't like that. And that's fine. But if you wish, you can take two flat blocks, two portrait level flat blocks, about an inch or two apart, put your bolster on top, and then bound angle pose with the soles of your feet together and your knees wide. You can even scooch back so that your feet are kind of falling down towards your pelvis on the edge of the bolster. So for some of us, not having your feet way up on top like on the platter, but instead falling off the edge of the platter is actually kind of nice. So take a moment to see if either of these feel comfortable. And if not, any variation that you prefer of your deep relaxation. Now, you might just stay in supine bound angle for a moment and then shift to bringing your legs straight over your bolsters, and there you are in your Shavasana. But take your time, choose the variation that you like, and allow your body to start to melt into the floor. This is where you become a little pat of butter on a nice big piece of toast. Or maybe it's vegan butter and gluten-free bread. In Portuguese, it's uma torrada. A torrada is a piece of toast with a shit ton of butter on it. Excuse my French. It's amazing, actually. So finding your way into your deep relaxation, which includes letting go of the effort to be in a certain place in a certain way with a certain kind of breathing. Instead, let your body drift and settle and slacken. Soften the skin all around your face, your eyes, your ears, your jaw. And allow all the places where your body meets the surfaces below you, allow those places to soften, to melt and widen. Now you have nothing to do, just to let your body be breathed. And now very slowly begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Circle your wrists Bend your ankles, bend your elbows, bend your knees. And if after all that you feel, "Oh, I kind of want to keep resting," that's always an option. Allow yourself to stay a little more dwell time with your body. But if finding a seat seems like a reasonable option, and there is one that's comfortable and allows you to sit up nice and tall without straining your hips back or knees, I invite you to grow the crown of your head way up to the ceiling, to the sky, and let your shoulders wash down your back. And maybe bring your palms together in front of your heart in a mudra of gratitude and honoring. I'd like to close class with an Om. Haven't done that in a while. And you might say, well, I don't really like Om. Just enjoy the vibration. You really don't need to chant it. We'll take a big inhale and exhale to clean out your body. Then we'll take an inhale and then we'll Om. So inhale and exhale here. Ah, then inhale for Om. Big cleansing breath. And let it go. Thank you all so much. Thank you for coming. So nice to have you. Yeah, lovely to have you. So the Om is 4 parts, 3 of which are vocalized and 1 of which is silenced. So Om. Sometimes you hear more of an emphasis on Om. You can hear all these sounds. They're all the 3 states of being: sleeping, waking, dreaming. So the 3 states of being. Yeah, sleeping, waking, dreaming. And then the 4th one is Ishvara Pradidhana, where you've given yourself up to the universe and you are everything. The goal, the goal. I am going to have a surgery this year. It won't be till December, but I am going to, most likely, if the insurance gods smile upon me, have a hip replacement on December 18th. Yeah. Well, under certain circumstances. So I had my right hip replaced in 2020, and I had a certain trajectory and a whole bunch of things that happened with regard to pain and discomfort and blah, blah, blah. And I thought, oh, I'm not having that on the left. Well, about a year ago it started, and it's just been progressing, progressing. And it's the exact same symmetrically opposite thing that was happening on the right. So I don't have the feeling it's going to end up in a different place. I feel like it's showing me the same. So I'm having it done a little earlier so that I can heal more quickly and better. And I have an awesome surgeon whom I love. Caveat being that if the insurance gods do not smile upon me, it will be delayed till sometime next year, and I don't know when that is. And that will be fine. But I'll let you know as soon as I know, which will probably be about November, mid-November, when I'll know for sure that it's happening or not happening. So I just want to let you know because it is kind of a big deal. I will be out for about 4 weeks. But because of the fact that now I can teach in person after this, instead of last time I was at home teaching by Zoom, this time I don't need to be able to do everything. If people are willing to come and be on this mat for demos, I will walk around, I'll say all the things, I blab all the time anyway, I'll just keep doing that. And that way I'll be able to come back much sooner. Exactly, exactly. Having a student demo is always a really great modality anyway. So just so you know, so I'll keep you posted. All right. Thank you for coming, Susanna. Great
That
to
was
see
a
you, Lisa.
that was a great class. Could I get a
Oh,
copy?
absolutely. I'd be more than
Oh,
happy. If you wouldn't mind just popping me a quick text or an email,
I
Susanna,
will.
so I don't forget, that would be terrific. Thank you.
I will. Thank you again.
Thanks,
You're
Anne.
welcome. You're welcome, Lisa. How did you do today?
Pretty good. The moving my head back and forth, when I was lying down was the only thing that set it off, but everything else was
Okay.
fine.
Okay.
So
And then when you went back to stillness, did it reside or take a
yeah,
little while?
yeah,
Okay.
it was
Okay.
like,
Yeah. So I need to remember to say, Lisa, don't turn your head.
yeah. No, it's okay. I'm just learning like what works, what doesn't work. So
Right. Yeah. Excellent. Okay, Lisa. Well, be
thanks.
well. And have a good
Thank
rest of
you.
your day. You're
You
welcome.
too.
Okay. Bye-bye.